Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Raj here. Sorry it's been super duper long since I've filmed a video. I've been doing a bunch of schoolwork, so that would explain why I've been gone for so long. But anyways, today Apple released iOS 14.2 Developer Beta 2. So this should be quite interesting. So let's go to Settings and let's update to it. So as you can see here, it's, let me go back to that for a second, it's 656 megabytes, so a pretty small update, I'd say. Alright, let's enter in my passcode. Alright, and once it's done installing, I will be right back. Alright guys, we are now back. So now without further ado, let's go through some changes with iOS 14.2 Developer Beta 2. So to first start out with, some changes that we can expect are, of course, some new emojis. So there is more than 100 new emojis coming to the iPhone, which is insane. That's quite a lot of emojis and quite a huge update for Unicode. So that is pretty cool to see there. And let's also go through the feedback app as well, if I can find it. Let's see. There it is. Alright, just have to authenticate there, and then go here to the Beta 2 release notes. Okay, so general stuff, some stuff that was resolved are apps built with the iOS 14 SDK that import SwiftUI and StoreKit in the same file will now launch correctly, so that's nice for developers. Apple Pay, now Apple Cash family is now available in iOS and iPadOS 14.2 Beta 2. That sounds like a nice feature to have. And then there is some exposure notifications for COVID. Risk scores are now calculated correctly when custom I don't even know how to say that word. Let's see, attention. Yeah, I just can't say it. Okay. But basically, when those specific weights are used. Also now, this is actually quite a short update, by the way. Messages, some resolved stuff was that now you can use Siri to send audio messages again, which is nice. That's re-enabled. Networking, basically now your app no longer quits unexpectedly if it's using that request, which is a developer thing. And also, I did want to mention this as well, and that is that if you guys remember, basically at least for like the past few weeks, in iOS 14.0, there was this huge bug that when you restarted your device, that, like, say if you switched your default email app or your default browser, that it would automatically set it back to Apple's default browsers, like Safari and the Mail app. Well, that was fixed with iOS 14.0.1, which is a public release, but unfortunately with iOS 14.2 Developer Beta 2, this is just a heads up, by the way, if this really concerns you guys, that's not fixed in Beta 2 of iOS 14.2. Unfortunately, Apple has not gotten around to fixing that just yet, and I'm sure they will with Beta 3. That comes out maybe within like the next week or two, most likely. I'd say it's probably gonna be more around 2 weeks for when we can expect it from now, or at least 2 weeks from today, which today is the 29th, of course. So it'll be probably 2 weeks from today, which will be on, let's see here. That will be on October the 13th. So actually, that is technically... Now, I don't really get into this that much, but that's when we've been hearing that the event is supposedly going to be for the new iPhones and stuff like that. We've been hearing that. Now, not saying it's confirmed or anything, because obviously, that's my sort of opinion on it, is that you should still take it with a grain of salt. But, I mean, it is a likely day that we could be seeing Apple's event. So, it also kind of makes you think... it could also be just a week from today, because I'd say that would also kind of make sense too, because, you know, Apple would not probably have a developer beta release like as soon as they announce the new iPhones, but again, they could at the same time. So it's really just up for debate there. Now, personally, I would say they could still launch a developer beta software when the new iPhones are announced. But I also do see them as well launching maybe iOS 14.1 as well to the public. That's sort of like a mixed bag of what we've gotten with iOS 14.2, but also, you know, what we've gotten so far with the public release is just more refined. Now, I could easily be wrong on that, and maybe Apple just completely decided to skip iOS 14.1. But at the same time, I mean, if you also look at it historically, they have loaded like specific software onto those like devices before they launched. So it is possible that Apple did move on to iOS 14.2 with the developer betas because they were saving iOS 14.1 for the iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pros, if that's what they're called. Because we've also been hearing that the, like, I guess you could say the lowest end iPhone, the 5.4-inch model, is going to be called the iPhone Mini, which makes sense. I mean, it's pretty continuous with their lineup, so it makes perfect sense. But anyways, I'm going to stop rambling now, and I'm going to also get into some of the, tests, which I forgot to run in the first part of the video, which is my mistake. I'm sorry about that. But I did run some in the last video, so if you want to go check that out, feel free to do so. So basically, it's pretty negligible, I'd say, in terms of differences. But as you can see here, this is impressive. We have a ping of 5 milliseconds. That's the fastest I've ever seen it go, which is impressive. And we have a download speed of 245 megabits per second. That's pretty good. That's really, really good. And it looks like here for our upload speeds, we're getting just almost about 23. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. For our first test. Now, let's test that 2 more times. And then we are going to run some shortcut tests. And 5 milliseconds again. Wow. That's insane, guys. That's really insane. And that's, I'd say, that's definitely the fastest I've ever seen it go, which is great. That's really great. 5 milliseconds is 4 milliseconds faster than it used to be. It used to be 9 milliseconds constantly. Now it seems like it's 5, which is great. I mean, 4 millisecond difference. I mean, while it's negligible, it still is a difference nevertheless. And then we also got the same results roughly for upload speeds. Nothing changed there. Download speeds might have changed slightly. But again, there is that sort of threshold where they will change. And then looks like now we have a ping of 7, which is still not bad. I mean, a ping of 7 milliseconds is still below 9, so that's still fairly impressive. And it looks like we have a higher jitter this time at 10 milliseconds. Alright, we got a download speed of 246, and it looks like for the upload speeds, it is struggling a little bit, so I'm curious to know what's going to happen with this. It's not seeming like it's going to be a good result. Yeah, so it looks like it kind of struggled there with the third test, so just for a verification purpose, let's run that test one more time. It might have just been a fluke, most likely, because there is instances where there are flukes. Yeah, like for example, now it's 12 milliseconds. So it kind of varies, I guess you could say. There are flukes here and there. It's not a dead accurate result every single time. It's going to be different. So unfortunately, that it's not really scientific, but at the same time, it's a test regardless. I mean, it's just Wi-Fi speeds. So, I mean, these are like, these kind of tests are like for people that are like huge, I guess you could say, nerds about it, so. But, I mean, enough of my rambling, and yeah, it seems like upload speeds that time were on par with what they were from the past two. But then again, I mean, not really much of a difference there in terms of like actual speeds between the three tests, but a significant improvement nevertheless in terms of ping from previous iOS software. But anyways, let's also run a shortcut test. Let's run my latest and greatest useful info 14.2. It looks like here we have the general information tab. That's perfectly fine, except for maybe that weather thing there. Looks like that got misaligned, so I'll have to fix that. And then let's go back to the main menu. Cellular information. Looks good. Wi-Fi information. Looks perfectly fine. Then offline mode. Yeah, looks great. It looks really, really great. Exit shortcut. Perfect. Let's run that 2 more times. And then that is going to be, after that, the end of this video. And I know it's a short video, guys, but again, I kind of just want to shorten these videos for you guys because I don't want to make them super long and obnoxious anymore. I feel like that's really unnecessary. So let's see here. Let's now test the offline mode again. Looks good. Let's test exit shortcut. Also looks good. And then this is going to be our final test. I'm going to kind of just breeze through it because, I mean, it's working, obviously. So this is just a third validation test, basically, to ensure that everything is working as planned. And with the exception of just that weather text being misaligned, which is a pretty easy fix, honestly. It just will involve me actually having to realign it, so that's not a bad thing. But okay, so it passed the it passed the tests, which is nice. But yeah, so basically that's gonna do it for this video. So if you guys liked it, please be sure to leave a like. Also, comment if you really want to, and subscribe if you're brand new to my channel. I plan to release a lot more content. I'm sorry about the lack of content, you guys, but I've had just so much schoolwork on my head, it's crazy. So my schedule, like I even mentioned when summer ended, it's going to be a bit scattered this year. So don't really expect me to have a solid schedule this year, like previous years. I mean, previous years I've not had a solid schedule either, so unfortunately it's going to be the same case this year, and it's a lot worse this year. So, unfortunately, that's what I have to deal with, and, yeah. Hopefully I can make more videos for you guys very, very soon. But you guys have to also understand I have to focus on my schoolwork as well. That's the most important thing. But, anyways, though, I will, let this video go, and, I'll see you guys next time, which will hopefully be a little bit of a change, from just, tech videos. So, see you guys then. Peace out, everyone.